I have a slight doubt that the webinar is on, actually.
Yeah. So where's the bell?
I think you are the bell, Arne. You have to
okay.
now by yourself.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to all of you out there, and thank you for joining the webinar of Iute Credit in such great numbers. My name is Arne Assmann. I am Director Capital Markets at Bankhaus Scheich, and Bankhaus Scheich will be acting as order book manager, listing agent, as well as specialist on the Frankfurt Stock Exchange for this bond issue. I would like to mention that this bond issue marks already the third international euro-denominated high-yield issue of the company. Before we hop into the presentation, may I recommend, encourage, and invite everyone to ask questions as we go through the slides. Anything you want to know more about, any topic that might have been left untouched, you can do this by making use of the dedicated Q&A button you see on your toolbar at the bottom of your screen, and we will be happy to answer them towards the end of the presentation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you have seen from the invitation, Iute is certainly not a newcomer, but has been around now for many years and is today one of the, really have to say, most innovative financial service providers on a tech-driven basis in major Eastern European countries. Having said that, let me briefly introduce you to the architects of the company's success. The gentleman you see here is Tarmo Sild. He is the CEO of the company, and I would like to say it is fair to mention that he is the mastermind of the company's success. He founded Iute in 2008 together with a business partner, and as an attorney at law, he brings a dedicated experience in all legal and entrepreneurial matters to the table. The lady next to him is Christel Kurwitz, the current CFO of the company. She has been with Iute now also for many years, I believe already since 2017, and she can look back on dedicated and extensive experience in all kinds of matters when it comes to financial reporting and risk management. Now, Tarmo, may I pass the torch over to you that you give us an introduction into your business model, and I'll be right back with the terms and conditions and particulars of the offering. Thank you.
Arne, thank you very much for such a fabulous introduction. I would like to make one correction in the very beginning. The mastermind and the great team who has built this company is sitting in the Tallinn headquarters, and also in Albania and in Moldova and in Macedonia and in Bulgaria. So greetings to everybody who is maybe later seeing this recording. Very important to mention that Iute Group is the result of the work of winning team. Many people working in technology, working in finance management, liquidity management, working in marketing, in sales, in customer experience journey modeling, in legal and compliance, in risk management, and one more time in technology. So there are many people at work, and actually we are in quite comfortable today to present the results of their work and how we want to put it in front of the investors who might consider investing in our bonds. By the way, by my calculations, the ones who joined us back in 2019, as of now, and that's a fact statement, I believe that they have at least doubled their initial investment, compounding the interest that they have earned with us. But now going to what Iute actually is. So as of now, if you look at it from the planet Mars, it's a financial group which has 261,000 active customers, had last year revenue of 130 million. So customers paid for the financial services 130 million euros as fees and interest, has a combined balance sheet of 450 million euros. And last year had net profit of 9 million euros, and the team size last year was 922. I constantly keep repeating last year. What I take the courage and say that the group has been growing through the history, and we expect the growth to continue, and we have every comfortable feeling to say that the growth has been continuing. but we will release our Q1 results pretty soon. Why we make Iute? Iute in Romanian means very spicy and very fast. We started the business in Moldova. We took the name from Moldovan vocabulary, or actually Romanian language vocabulary. And our mission is to offer the greatest experience in personal finance by combining technology with the warmth of human touch. And we want to make our customers stronger, both financially and digitally. And generally, what the product offering should include or should bring to our sweet spot customer is the speed and the convenience and the human touch, the feeling of being attended, the ability to talk to somebody in case of need, and to seek assistance. We have, as I said, a winning team of many people split between 7 management functions. Actually, let me just cover them one by one. Besides the Chief Executive Officer speaking here and CFO speaking next to me, there is the co-founder of the company, Allar Ninebu, who is the Chief Commercial Officer, Tarvo Rahumägi, who is the Chief of Risk. And risk in Iute doesn't mean only credit risk, but all kinds of risk management. Göksu Tugay, who is the Chief of Customer Experience, modeling customer journeys and running also My Iute app. Kadi Raudsepp, who is the Chief of Legal and Compliance across the group, very important function. And finally, last but not least, we have also Mart Tambur, who is the Chief Technology Officer and running a big team of engineering managers, code writers, testers, analysts, and other fabulous, talented people. But this is, again, only the tip of the iceberg. And we are not going any deeper as of this moment. Rather, we switch over to the brief historical summary. So we started the business and we issued the first loan in 2008. And I even remember this moment because I was one of the first underwriting officers sitting in Tallinn using technology that we had at that time, underwriting loans in Moldova. And the summer of 2008 was the first summer when we had geopolitical hates at the top in Europe. And actually, I would say that if I look back to our past, almost 20 years of experience in this business, there has been more years of some kind of crisis or big change mode than the years of peace and prosperity. We have seen the different Russian invasions and wars. We have seen COVID. We have seen at least one collapse of the capital markets and many other things. So it's quite peculiar. Therefore, I'm also not going through the evolution point by point. It's worth seeing that we started back in Moldova 2008. We expanded the business into Albania 2015, then further into Macedonia and in Kosovo 2017, and Bosnia and Bulgaria in 2019. Out of the 6 countries we have opened so far, we have closed down 2 and continue doing business in 4. The 2 countries were not sustainable for the purposes of doing fully digital business protected by the laws. So as of now, Iute Group, with its 261,000 active paying customers and about 1 million customers in the total database, and actually the ones who have downloaded My Iute app and done that identification, also close to 1 million. So out of all this, I would only point out that we keep serving those customers with loans. And increase of the loan portfolio is the reason why we continue issuing bonds and also issue the present bond about this webinar is. And we also process payments. We have electronic money licenses in Bulgaria and in Albania. We have a bank in Moldova, and we have a license application pending in North Macedonia. And third value stream, after loans and after processing payments, which we call wallet, we also have insurance intermediation, where essentially we sell the insurance policies provided by independent insurance companies. We sell them and charge a commission from the insurance premiums. And the sales channel that we use is my Iute app. So in the very big picture, you see we are operating in 4 countries through my Iute app, also using our own branch network, also using more than 4,000 partner shops. Also, we have a web page, and we are integrated with e-commerce merchants. Through this network, through this ecosystem, we offer loans, payment services, and insurance. Some numbers behind. The net loan portfolio, including the bank, is close to 300 million euros. The loan customers, active loan customers, more than 212,000. In wallet, I didn't mention the revenue, it's also not on the slide, but the loans make more than 90% of our revenue back in 2024. But I should also say that the revenues from the wallet and insurance are growing fast, especially insurance. So with wallet non-bank, we had close to 60,000 active customers end of last year. And with insurance, we had more than 47,000 active customers last year. And in the commercial bank, we had 43,000 active customers. And with a commercial bank in Moldova, we made additional revenue of 16 million euros. So all in all, total group revenue last year was 113 million. When we talk about loans, then loans in our future reporting for the investors who are new to us or who would consider investing, I explained that we do 2 types of loans. The ones which we call cash loans. It doesn't mean that we distribute cash directly. The money is still, the loan amount is still dispersed to the customer's account. But then customer can very quickly decide what to do with the money, whether to withdraw it from our ATM. We also run our own ATM network, or whether to use it for P2P payment, any kind of payment that customer chooses. And with cash loans, the maturities are up to 60 months. The weighted average maturity of Iute Group loans is somewhere around 26-27 months. We don't do generally short loans. Our weighted average maturity 26-27 months. And second type of loans is dealer loans or buy now, pay later. The specifics here is that it requires integration with our external partner. And actually, there are 3 parties involved when a dealer loan or buy now, pay later loan is issued. There is a customer, of course, but there is also the merchant. Iute settles the loan payout with a merchant. Merchant receives a loan, considers this as payment for the goods which he or she just sold, releases the goods, and customer walks away from the shop with the goods, let's say with a refrigerator. And customer has loan relationship, a loan agreement with Iute. With digital wallet, we offer account-to-account transfers, also cash in and cash out operations, and also top up, and we are extending the services. With insurance intermediation, we started with loan-related insurances, expanding it into non-loan related insurance solutions, and we have serious international partners with who we do the business. If we look at where the assets are and where the revenues are, then first let's split it into bank and non-bank businesses, because bank behaves still commercially quite differently from the non-bank. And starting from the non-bank, where most of the assets are, then the Moldova, our oldest country, where we started the business, net loan portfolio end of last year was 66 billion euros, 66. Whereas in Albania, where we started 8 years later, the net loan portfolio end of last year was near 90 million. And growing actually at the fastest rate in the group. North Macedonia portfolio 36, also growing very quickly. Bulgaria 16 million. Bulgaria, we stopped growing up until reaching the 60 million size, roughly, because we wanted to fix the credit quality first. In 3 countries that I mentioned, Moldova, Albania, and North Macedonia, we are profitable, we are making money with loans. In Bulgaria, we had too high credit losses in the startup phase, We started to address them seriously during 2024, and as of now, we believe that we have reached a point where we can start accelerating again. So in future, we should see the Bulgarian net loan portfolio also increasing. Now, if you compare this to the revenues and EBITDAs, you can see that the EBITDA of Albania is the largest, 21 million, just as is the total revenue, 43 million. In fact, the revenue of Iute Group in Albania equals to the sum of revenues of Iute Credit Moldova and North Macedonia. But they are all profitable, that's very positive. And in Bulgaria, EBITDA 2 million euros is not sufficient actually to make net profit. Total revenue 9.7 million euro is decent. And again, the point is to start growing in Bulgaria only if we make money, and we can make money if the loans are being repaid as we need. In the bank, the share of portfolio is big, equal to Albania. Net loan portfolio 90 million. Total revenue is below our expectations, but profitable so far. And the bank is in the process of digital transformation, digitalizing all its services, streamlining its OpEx base. So we expect the bank to show significantly better numbers in the future. But even as of now, we would say that the acquisition has been a good decision, and we see great potential behind. Well, as to the revenue, and this is the last comment from my side, you can also see that the revenue streams are diversifying. If on the bottom right corner, you see that in year 2021 and 2022, loans were the biggest, even the single biggest source of revenue with 60 million. Then as of the last year, you see how much the loan revenue is increased, but you see also how wallet and insurance revenue are growing next to it. And this is the logic of Iute ecosystem. And we are making our long-term strategy based on the ecosystem. Well, I think that I now take a sip of coffee. Krista, why don't you take it from here?
Thank you. And good afternoon from my side as well. So, and briefly to cover financial highlights as well. As already seen from previous slide, yes, total revenue during 2024 close to 113 million euros. At Iute non-bank side, on a yearly basis, revenue increased by 8%, but at the same time, at Enambank side, revenues dropped by 12%. And the main reason at Enambank side, lower level of revenue from government bonds during 2024. OpEx to revenue ratio. Our aim is to keep OpEx to revenue ratio on consolidated basis lower than 40%. And as you may see, during last 2 years, we managed to keep it lower than 40%. We are glad that at Iute non-bank side, actually OpEx to revenue ratio during 2024, even 35%. But we have to admit that at Enambank side, OpEx to revenue ratio during 2024, 63%. So something which should be lowering on a monthly basis. We hope that yes, we will see quite a good improvement during 2024 regarding OpEx to revenue ratio at Enambank side.
Crystal, if I may just say that in our language, in Iute language, hope, the word hope doesn't mean that we sit and hope.
Yeah.
But we are in more active position.
Yes. Regarding net profit and net profit margin, as you see, slight drop during 2024. And the main reasons, one reason I already explained was lower level of revenues at the Enambank side. Then one-time cost related to provisions as we changed the methodology of LGD logic during last quarter of 2024. And due to that, we recognized 1.6 million additional allowances. And if we compare 24 and 23, then we had a much lower forex gain during 24. That is the explanation why there is drop from 10 million to 9 million. And in parallel, of course, net profit margin dropped from 10% to 8%. And also our goal is to keep it net profit margin not less than 10%. With extremely high level of loan payout during 24. During 24, our net loan portfolio increased by 28%. And due to that, we also increased our liabilities by 12%. And to be more efficient and to decrease level of interest cost during 2024, cash balance decreased by 25%. So that are the main reasons why leverage ratio went up to 5.7. And that is also something to be focused, so that it will not increase in the future. Regarding financial covenants set by existing bonds, and of course capitalization ratio and interest coverage ratio are also part of the new bond. As you see, capitalization ratio stable at the level of 25, and interest coverage ratio stable at the level of 1.7. Just to be mentioned that regarding new terms, interest coverage ratio for new bond will be at the level of 1.25. So yes, that was briefly regarding financial highlights.
Okay, thank you for this. And I would only complete our presentation by making 4 arguments why we believe that investment into Iute bonds continues to be a good, stable, strongly performing investment. Number 1 is that we really are the trend breakers, the disruptors in our markets, and that is demand. Common people in our markets demand for speedy and convenient solutions, which means digitalization. And that has been the driving force which has carried us forward. I don't think it's kind of our special genius, it's our work, but the force behind is people's desire to have financial solutions in their hand very quickly and preferably personalized. And also preferably by still enabling human touch, which means building up the capabilities to talk to people through call centers, also through the app, and also to make them offers, to make them personalized offers. So our drive for digitalization, but also the hunger from the people, from the markets to have easier, more convenient life. The business model has proven itself. We have had 17 years of growth behind us. We have made profit every single year of our history. And even though it is not a guarantee of the future, I sit here and I am confident that we are going to have profitable 2025, and we have very strong foundation to continue growing while remaining profitable. The company has been so far very well manageable. We have a strong management team and we have good visibility inside what is happening. And I trust that we have also good people who make decisions on time so as to react or even preempt the changes on the markets. Also, the model is diversified. I think this separates us from many microfinance companies in terms that you really can see how the revenue is coming from different streams and customers pay the bills, and the money which comes to the Iute group from its customers eventually reaches the bondholders, it is stronger flow because there is diversified value offering to the customers. We have kept the balance sheet stable and strong through the years. The balance sheet has seen different turbulences applied to it from outside, starting from COVID, starting from different capital market reactions, starting from, I think Moldova has been asked from me through past 17 years, why Moldova? When we went into Albania, then some people asked, are we crazy? Why we go to Albania, etc., etc. So we have been prudent and we have built a solid balance sheet throughout the years. And we have kept the capitalization ratio above 25%. And there is also growth potential, even for bond investors. The question is, what is the growth potential? Maybe it's more for the shareholders, for the equity. What's in it for me? Because I have also heard the argument that bond upside is limited. It is true that bond upside is limited to a certain extent, but it also well depends on what's going to happen on the capital markets. If we, for instance, will see over the next 5 years the decline of base interest rates and Euribor, or maybe we see the decline for demand of US dollar nominated assets and increase for euro nominated assets, then we can also see the different pricings on the debt markets, including the different pricings on the bonds. So, for instance, a bond bought with a yield of, for instance, 11% could be also later, if the yield curve changes, be sold at a totally different price. So I would say that there is also growth potential for any kind of investor. I see the growth potential. Anyway, I am sitting on the operational chair, so I believe in the company growth. And that's the exercise we are doing here by selling you our bond, to which you can subscribe until end of this week. But now I think, Arne, you are kind of willing to take over from me. I step onto your territories for the investment bankers. So please, I finish now.
Yes. Tarmo, Crystal, thank you so much for your kind introduction and your kind words. Ladies and gentlemen, this slide, or the next slide, can you move the slide, Tarmo? This slide will give you the overview of the terms and conditions of the current bond, which is pretty similar to the one that is already outstanding, the 2021-26 issue. And I believe the beauty of this structure is that we have numerous pledges and guarantors, rendering this a guaranteed senior secured corporate bond with a nice security package and some great comfort for the investors. The currency, as I already mentioned in my introduction, will be in euros, and the issue size is up to 175 million, of which I need to mention here, much is already covered by the very successful exchange offer that has taken place in the last couple of weeks. The maturity this time is 5.5 years, from June 2025 to December 2030. And there is a speciality in there because there will be an amortization after the 51st month of the issue date. So investors will receive partially their money back step by step before maturity. The coupon in question will be determined by a book building, and the book building range into which interested parties can submit their orders will be between 11 and 12.5%. And once the coupon is determined, it will be paid semi-annually, meaning twice a year. The company will use the funds from this issuance certainly to repay the outstanding corporate bond, but also refinance other existing liabilities and certainly to have some cash on hand for further growth. If you look at the banking syndicate, the names probably speak for themselves. We have the joint lead managers Oppenheimer & Co. and LHV Bank. Co-manager will be Signet Bank. And as I also mentioned in my introduction, Bankhaus Scheich, based in Frankfurt, will be sales agent, order book manager, and listing agent. The bond also carries some financial and further covenants, for example, interest coverage ratio, limitation on indebtedness, and limiting dividend payouts, also giving comfort to the investors. If you look at the line listing and governing law, it speaks for the transparency and sustainable investor relations of the company, because this bond will be listed again in the regulated, highly regulated market of Frankfurt, as well as Nasdaq, Tallinn, and the terms and conditions are governed by Luxembourg law. In order to give retail investors the chance to participate, the smallest denomination will be euros 100 already. And you see down there the ISIN that is necessary if you want to submit an order to your custodian bank, broker, or direct bank. Now, next slide, please, Tamo. If you're interested to subscribe to Iute bonds, institutional investors can certainly contact members of the syndicate banks. Retail investors certainly need to have a securities account and an investment service agreement in place with their depository or custodian banks. Baltic investors can subscribe through these just mentioned custodian banks, but German investors have the additional benefit and chance to subscribe via the subscription facility of Deutsche Börse AG called Direct Place, that is offering smooth and easy access to the order book. As Tam already mentioned, the subscription period for the bonds lasts until this Friday, 30th of May. So you have to make up your mind during this week to what extent you want to invest. Please note at this stage that some custodian banks might having individual deadlines internally. So probably to make up your mind and come to a decision sooner than later is probably advisable. Having said that, I would say we now hop into the Q&A session, because I see on my screen there are already a number of questions being raised at this stage. There's one, I don't know if you can see them, Tamo. The first one is, do you plan geographic expansion, for example, to Baltic states?
Well, we are in Baltic states by issuing the bonds. I would also take it as part of geographic expansion, but I believe the question was about starting gaining customers in the Baltic states. For the next 2 to 3 years, we do not envision it. We believe that most of our customers who speak our languages are in the Balkan Peninsula or live in European Union. So from that viewpoint, of course, maybe one day, why not to start serving Bulgarians or Albanians if they live in Estonia, Latvia, or Lithuania. But if I assume what the question means, short answer is no.
Okay, thank you very much. The other one is, when will be the announcement of the final interest rate? I just mentioned the book building.
What do we say, Kristen?
We will announce results on Friday evening, on May
after.
20th. Yes.
Yeah, after the close of the books.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How do you see the development in Moldova? Will Moldova still remain the largest operation going forward, or will you focus on more diversification / more balanced asset spread?
We are focused on diversification, and if one looks at our past history, how we have built loan portfolios in different countries, you can see how the share of Moldova has been in a relative decline. In absolute terms, we have increased the loan portfolio, but in relative terms, the share of other countries is increasing faster. In Moldova, we have currently big exposure because we acquired our first bank of the group in Moldova, and that obviously changes the size of balance sheet. Having said that, it is also important to bear in mind that bank finances its activities with its own deposits. So we are not adding the Eurobond exposure to Moldova because of the bank, and even to Iute Credit Moldova, our non-bank financial subsidiary in Moldova. Our current exposure by the group, the loan exposure, we have lent them less than 40 million euros.
6 million euros. to be
6 million.
6 million euros, yes.
So we have actually limited or hedged our risks to the maximum possible extent even today.
Good. The next one would be, what will be the revenue split among your different revenue streams be in 2 or 3 years' time?
Please take my answer as aspirational or crystal ball answer. But my answer is that we want to achieve revenue split of 80% loans and 20% the other services which are not requiring capital risk.
Why are you not doing business in Estonia, Latvia, and/or Lithuania?
Well, I believe we are doing business in Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania because our bonds are being traded on Tallinn Stock Exchange, and we are regularly reporting to our bond investors. But if the question again is why are we not issuing any loans in Estonia, Latvia, or Lithuania, because we have decided that our core markets are the emerging markets. Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania are not emerging markets. And we also find good geographic synergies, cultural synergies in the Balkan region. This is the territory which we know the best and where we want to grow. There is a great potential there. I should even add that one Moldova is roughly the same as one Lithuania. So, and not to mention of Bulgaria or for that matter, for instance, Romania. And there are 9 million Albanians. So even one Albanian-speaking population, 9 million Albanians across the globe. So there is great potential among those populations. So it's optimization task as well.
Now here's one concerning your insurance business. How do you make money in your insurance business? What risks are here involved? What insurance products are you selling?
We are not selling anything on our own behalf, not selling. So there is no insurance-related risk in our balance sheet. It's pure profit and loss statement business where we charge a commission for the insurances that we intermediate on behalf of the insurance companies. So in that sense, the business model is quite straightforward. Of course, we have to make sure that we have properly identified the customer. Of course, we have to make sure that the insurance company gets paid for the insurance policy issued. But beyond that, because we trust our partners, there is counterparty risk, of course, but we have selected carefully with who we work. So from that viewpoint, it is a lucrative business with good profit margin.
What are your plans for Enact Bank for the next 3 to 5 years?
Keyword number 1, fully digitalize. Keyword number 2, explore and exploit synergies with Iute Credit Moldova and Enerbank, because Iute Credit Moldova today has still more customers than Enerbank has, which in the 10 to 20 years perspective, maybe even 5 years perspective, doesn't make much sense. And of course, if we are successful, if we will be successful, and we will, then eventually we will see Enerbank becoming a Iute bank.
You mentioned in your presentation already the wallet business, Tarmo. How do you earn money here is the next question.
If we would separate it as an individual value stream, as an individual product, which is not supporting the sale of other 2 products, loans and insurance, then I think it's quite challenging to make money with wallet. On its standalone basis, our take rate, meaning the amount of fees that we charge in relation to the amount of money that we process, different kind of payments, different kind of transactions, then the take rate is above 1%. And that is sufficient to make this business sustainable and not to lose money with it. So this is how I would answer without going into too much detail. Obviously, technology is the key. It has to be very technology intense. And with technology, you can process millions of units of transactions with minimum cost. and making it speedy and convenient for customers, and still being able to charge a little bit as compensation. But the key driver with Wallet actually is to keep customers in our ecosystem to sell more loans and insurance.
Good. Based on public information, some 45 to 50 million of the existing 2026 bonds will remain outstanding. What are your plans for the 2026 bonds? Will you refinance the bonds earlier?
That is a bit premature to say, because the amount outstanding after a successful closing of the ongoing issue, my prediction is that we would have in total about 200 million euros worth of outstanding bonds, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more. But out of this 200, 47 million will be the outstanding 2026 bond. And it is right now too premature to say whether we will let them to maturity and redeem them, or we will buy them back sooner using our own options. It's a bit premature to say.
Okay, yeah. How do you lead your team across all your countries while you are based in Estonia? Are you visiting your operations on a very often, or do they operate independently?
That is a very good question. I believe that the alignment of the people starts from the technology and common metrics and common mindset. And where do I start from? If I start from mindset, then it means choice of people and also training of people and practicing to see who performs, who doesn't, because there are certain values that one has to follow if one has to succeed at Iute Group. So this is one part. The other part of alignment is having a clear structure of organizations to have the same capabilities, to have the same capability managements, to have the same metrics, to understand what is going on, that we are talking about the same matters, not different matters, and that we are disciplined. Discipline is key. So these are the platforms that we run the business on. And then on top of it, we have to add the technology layer. Technology layer meaning that things are made certain way, can be made certain way within certain thresholds. A lot of operations are handled automatically. And the last part is, of course, financial management, providing the capital to the subsidiaries, but everything through the common metrics. And metrics is what keeps people aligned. Of course, we meet. Of course, we talk. Of course, there are management routines inside the management functions, inside our subsidiary companies. We have a Iute Group leadership team. So there are many routines as well. And yeah, on top of that, you can also put the boots on the ground or the site visits. So all this comes together and makes the group manageable. Thank you for this question.
Do I understand correctly that even when I will order some bonds at a minimum of 11%, investors will get a higher coupon when the market determines a higher coupon during the subscription period?
Yes. If
I could actually answer this myself, sorry.
Yes.
That is certainly correct, because as I mentioned, the coupon will be determined by way of a book building. And if the majority of subscribers want to see let's say a coupon of 12 or 12.5%, all the investors being treated equally will benefit from a standard coupon rate, meaning if you subscribe for 11, it will be at 12, then certainly everyone will get 12. But if you subscribe for 11 and everybody else subscribes also for 11, those who want to have 12 or above will get nothing. Have you met investors only in the Baltics or also in some other countries?
I have traveled a lot, and I dare to say that largest account holders among Iute Group investors, largest investors among Iute Group investors are not from the Baltics, but from the rest of the world.
Yeah. And I would like to mention that we're also going to be roadshowing in Germany in the course of this week. And as you said, you have seen numerous investors. actually across the globe so far. Here's another one regarding the coupon rate. How can I select the coupon rate? I can only order at 11%. That's interesting because all the custodian banks or depository banks should give you the opportunity to order within that range. I would recommend at this stage you talk to your representative at the local bank and see whether there's a solution to this. Are there any more questions? I don't see any at this stage on my screen. If not, then thank you very much all for participating. If there will be questions and queries coming up afterwards, because this webinar will be also hosted on the Iute's investor relations website, you can contact the company under investor@iute.com or make use of the QR code, which is on the last page of this presentation. Maybe, Tamu, you can quickly hop on there. So everybody who has some more interest and questions afterwards, this is the way to approach the company and the syndicate. Once more, Tamu, Crystal, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for everybody to join in such great numbers. Wish you all the best, good luck, and again, have a successful week. Let's get back to business.
Thank you.
Thank you, Arne. Bye.
Bye.